ってるけど、これは特別じゃない。
本当に伸びた。
なんだ人の体つついたり伸ばしたりてめえら。
Another top 10 anti-simps in anime. Toxic women are the mortal enemies of these brave warriors, and they are ready to sacrifice anything for their brethren. In case you're new to this channel, you might not know that we already covered a list of the top 10 anti-simps in anime. However, upon further research, I discovered that there are a lot of other lesser known anti-simps that also deserve to get recognition. Today we are going to take a closer look at 10 more anti-simps in the world of anime that show us how an alpha male should live his life. Before we get started with this list, let me just give you guys a quick definition for the word anti-simp. Basically, an anti-simp is the type of person who doesn't get affected by womanly charm. An anti-simp doesn't necessarily have to be mean to girls, but this alpha male knows his worth and never simps. Unlike, of course, most pitiful male humans in our world who just can't help but bark for their favorite e-girl. If you are a simp yourself, then I would ask you to watch this video very carefully, as it will show you what an ideal alpha male should be like. Hopefully I'll be able to convince some of you to change your ways and join us in our quest for eternal peace and happiness. Now, without any further ado, let's get started.
結構です。
ジョルノ、私と一緒にお茶してよ。私が払う。
うるさいな。一人が好きなんだ。あっち行けよ。
はーい。じゃあ明日ね、ジョルノ。じゃあ。
10. Giorno Giovanni, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 5. Giorno Giovanni is the protagonist of the Part 5 of the legendary JoJo's Bizarre Adventures anime series, and this guy is an absolute Chad. Giorno only simps for two things in this world. One is, of course, his dream.
このジョルノ・ジョバーナには夢がある。僕は100億リラが欲しい。その金でブチャルティに幹部になってもらい、僕らはのし上がっていかなくっちゃいけないんです。
And the other thing is his bros. These are the type of things that a man should be simping for. Giorno is ready to do anything at all to achieve his dream, and of course, womanly charm seems to have no effect at all on our valiant soldier. Giorno is also always ready to get down and dirty just to save the life of one of his bros. I mean, just look at the following scene of our boy.
おいミスター、ちょっと優しくして優しく。服を脱がせないで感じる。
Giorno doesn't care if they're in public. He's not gay, but if his brother needs a blowy to get better, then how can he ever refuse?
だからおめえらクーだよ。
9. Monkey D. Luffy, One Piece. Luffy is someone that most people don't seem to recognize as an anti-simp. I mean, he isn't really mean to any girls, but just because he cares for the females in his life as friends, it doesn't mean that he is a simp. The defining feature of an anti-simp is that he never lets womanly charm control him or his life decisions. My man only thinks about finding the legendary One Piece treasure and eating as much food as possible. If you're still not convinced that Luffy is an anti-simp, then you should take a look at this 10 out of 10 beauty. I mean, let's get real, my fellow weebs. Boa is a legit baddie, and she has the ability to make any man be down bad for her. Boa is completely head over heels in love with Luffy. Any simp would be overjoyed to know that Boa Hancock even mentioned his name, but our boy Luffy totally ignores her feelings like a real alpha male.
大人気、ルフィちゃん。ルフィ様。
お前、何勝手に商売してんだよ。言った。ほら確かに嫁もらいに来るって言った。
やっと思い出したのか。
そうか。ほら嫁って食い物のことだとばっかし思ってた。
へえ、食い物？
8. Goku, Dragon Ball Z. I know most of you will argue that Goku literally got married to Chi-Chi, so he doesn't belong on this list at all. However, we all know that Goku never really simped for Chi-Chi. Our boy never lets her control him in any way and only focuses on the things that he deems to be important. Goku loves food and fighting, and it doesn't matter how much Chi-Chi dislikes his habits, he will still always do whatever makes him happy and not let a woman control him. Let's talk about our brave anti-simp's personality in general as well. As we know from the start, Goku has always paid more attention to the well-being of his planet and loved ones than any woman he has ever met. Goku leads a simple and peaceful life, and we can learn a lot from him.
そうだ、当たり前だ。何が起ころうと知ったこっちゃねえ。ごはんちゃんの勉強が一等大事だ。冗談ばっかし。
7. Futaro Uesugi, quintessential quintuplets. Now, let us talk about a Chad that goes unnoticed by many because he's the protagonist of a harem anime. Whenever we hear the words harem anime protagonist, we often think of some uber simp who shows all the women around him as much affection as possible just to get on their good sides and win them over. However, Futaro is totally different. Our boy Futaro becomes the personal tutor of 5 girls who happen to be quintuplets. Despite the fact that all of these girls are the same age as Futaro, this anti-simp only sees these girls as his students and never tries to win their affection. Heck, eventually, as the show progresses, we see how each of these 5 girls start to slowly develop feelings for Futaro despite his neglect. And even after knowing that these girls actually like him, Futaro never really tries to make any moves himself and only treats them as his students.
違います。私たち5つ子の姉妹です。
俺はガキの頃からずっとミカサ、お前が大嫌いだった。
6. Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan. When you think about Eren, most of us don't really see a Chad. I mean, Eren is the obnoxious and loud protagonist of the series, who just keeps on getting his ass beaten by the enemy. However, despite how harsh the situation might get, our boy just keeps on moving forward and the only thing he cares about is killing all the Titans and saving his people. This boy is also an anti-simp as he never lets any woman change his way of thinking. Mikasa, one of the prettiest girls in the entire series, might be head over heels in love with Eren, but our boy doesn't have time for such stuff. He never simps for Mikasa and always focuses on the bigger task at hand, the protection of humanity.
取り返しがつかない。
爆豪くん包丁使うのうまい。意外やわ。
意外ってなんだから包丁にうまい下手なんざねえだろ。
5. Katsuki Bakugo, My Hero Academia. Katsuki Bakugo is one of my favorite characters from the My Hero Academia series because of how well written he is. Bakugo might act annoying most of the time, but the thing that I appreciate about him is that he always stays true to his character and his development is genuine. Anyway, we aren't here to talk about his character in general. We just want to know what makes our boy an anti-simp. Well, a lot of his traits resemble those that you only find in the best anti-simps. Firstly, unlike the simp Midoriya, our boy doesn't pay any attention to the girls around him at all. He knows that his true goal is to become the #1 hero, and that is the only thing that he is ever going to focus on. Secondly, Bakugo believes in true gender equality, and whether his opponent is a man or a woman, our boy never holds back.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
バンバー叩くんじゃねえぶっ飛ばすぞ。
もともと言えばあんたが弱っちいからとっ捕まってご迷惑かけたんでしょ。
二人ともやめろよ。
4. Naofumi Iwatani, The Rising of the Shield Hero.
それだけ魔物を倒した時の戦利品でどうにかできます。
さすがは異世界召喚王道展開。
Naofumi is the protagonist of the Shield Hero anime series. While this guy acted a bit like a simp at first and quickly trusted the evil princess, Multi Melromark, he learned from his mistakes and stopped being a simp afterwards. Multi falsely accused our poor boy of trying to assault her and destroyed his reputation. This might have been a bad experience, but it taught Naofumi that he should never fall for any woman's evil charm. Our boy quickly became a real anti-simp and then slowly worked his way towards greatness. Eventually, our brave anti-simp even managed to clear his name and punish the princess by changing her official name to Bitch. Naofumi is what you call a real Chad.
じゃあビッチの冒険者名はアバズレだ。
私の名は琥珀。どうやら私は君のことがめっぽう好きになってしまったようだ。
いきなり惚れた晴れたがよ、この非常時によ。
3. Senku Ishigami, Dr. Stone. You might already know Senku as he is the famous protagonist of the Dr. Stone series, who has a huge brain and is able to invent anything at all. This guy knows every little thing about science and he manages to amaze everyone around him again and again with his inventions. Okay, so you know that Senku is a scientist, but did you know that our boy also happens to be a speedrunner? No, for real. Senku holds the world record in his world for the fastest divorce. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Just take a look at the following scene. Senku never simps for any females in his world at all. This boy is currently working on saving his planet from Tsukasa, and that is all he'll be focusing on.
今日はこれから皆で夜通しのみ明かす婚礼の儀。
はあ、そっか。じゃあ離婚。
センクーが離婚したんだ
2. Yusuke Urameshi, Yu Yu Hakusho. Now here is an entry that this list could have never been complete without. How can we forget our legendary shonen protagonist Yusuke Urameshi, who showed kids all around the world how men should really act? Usually, all the protagonists of the older anime series used to be absolute simps who'd refuse to even fight against women. However, Yusuke broke the norm. Just look at this scene in which our boy explains that he'd fight a female even if she is a baby or someone's grandma. We can find many other scenes in the series as well which show us that Yusuke is a true believer of gender equality.
Species are becoming extinct at a faster rate than has occurred.
1. Light Yagami, Death Note. Ah yes, the ultimate anti-simp. Honestly, I don't get why I missed Light Yagami in my previous video. This guy is the real anti-simp that beats everyone else on this entire list by a long shot. I mean, not only does my man never fall for womanly charm, but he also uses his own charm instead to give these females a taste of their own medicine. Light Yagami literally makes girls simp for him. Wow. Light first tricked Misa into thinking that he is her loving boyfriend and used her for his own good. And then, later on in the story, the guy makes Kiyomi Takada fall in love with him and uses her as his spokesperson. We can't really call Light a good person, but he's still the biggest anti-simp you'll ever find.
高田清美自殺2013年1月26日午後2時32分自分の身の回りのもの書いたものを燃やし焼身自殺
There you have it, my fellow weebs. This was a list of some chads that exist in our world of anime and show us how a man should actually behave. Are any of your friends simps? If yes, then be sure to share this video with them, as it might help those lost souls realize their faults. Do comment down below if you think that I missed any other anti-simp. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. By the way, in case you didn't realize it, this video was just a joke. Please don't take it seriously. Treat the women around you with respect like real chads. Thanks for watching the entire video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!